I'm out in the barn at least 3 hours a day. I'm out there an hour before school every morning, and then I come back 2 hours after school to feed and wash and take care of them. Building that bond with them every day, 24/7. The animal gets used to you, you get used to the animal, and it's just a win-win situation when it comes out in the long run.
The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is the largest indoor rodeo in the world. We have about 18,000 animals that enter our showgrounds every year. And so a significant number of animals are going to hit the human food chain in a 3-week period of time. And those animals that place high enough will all be tested through TVMDL. And we want those all to be a level playing field. So those kids know that those animals, it's hard work, it's feed, it's their efforts that get them to the top.
With the example of steers, that's a year-long dedication. Those exhibitors have fed, provided the daily care for that animal leading up to the Houston Livestock Show. The hard work, the sacrifice, it takes a lot of resources, a lot of time to lead up to just a few minutes.
Class 5, we have Andrew Keenan Kutzenberger, Brazos County 4-H.
The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is one of the largest and longest-running rodeos in the world. And since the beginning, they've trusted the Texas A&M Veterinary Medical Diagnostic Laboratory to be their partner.
TVMDL was established in the late 1960s as a state agency to aid animal owners, animal producers, veterinarians, state regulators to diagnose a variety of different animal diseases to try to protect human and animal health. The Livestock Show drug testing program really got started in the late 1980s, and there were a handful of different drugs that people were using illegally to enhance muscle mass in these animals because these animals are being judged on their appearance. So Livestock Show testing was added to the drug testing capabilities here at TVMDL for that sole reason.
The partnership with TVMDL and Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is very long-standing. The Houston Livestock Show started our residue avoidance program monitoring back in the late 80s, and TVMDL has always been our laboratory of choice. They test all of our samples, and those samples all go to TVMDL, and they are tested before any prize money or auction money is ever delivered to the exhibitors. It's a large undertaking.
In order to accomplish this feat, TVMDL often has to turn around thousands of tests in just a few short days. Meanwhile, those samples need to all be collected, organized, and transported by Dr. Easterwood and her team of volunteers.
So a typical day during our junior market show, I will gather up all the supplies that they might need for that day. Sometimes they're species specific, and sometimes they're just general supplies like sample vials. I will take those to them and deliver them right before the show starts every day. And at the end of the day, I will pick up all of those samples and all of those supplies. My day will end with sorting those samples, making sure that we have them all. I will package those all up into boxes that will then get frozen. We keep one set of vials there at the show, and the other sample, the other split, will go on to TVMDL to the lab.
Chain of custody is a really important process when it comes to drug testing because you want to make sure that the samples weren't tampered with and that whenever they were sealed at the show, they arrived sealed at the laboratory. We use what's called liquid chromatography mass spectrometry, which is a very high sensitive, very technical instrumentation that can detect drugs at very, very low concentrations. The analogy that's been used often is if you take one drop of food coloring and place it in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, our instruments would have the ability to detect that small amount of a drug. So we start out with an initial screen where we're testing for roughly 150 different drugs. Once that screening process is complete, the sample is either determined to be negative or suspect. If it's suspect, that triggers us to do further analysis. And from that point, we do a confirmation test. So we start all over again and we repeat the testing process, but we use a different instrument, and it's a targeted analysis where we're really honing in on that one specific drug instead of the full composite of drugs that we started with during the initial screening process. Early on, it started with just a handful of shows like the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, but now in 2024, we actually do testing for over 100 livestock shows across the entire United States. And a lot of the drugs that people use in these animal species has also evolved. So the testing as a result of that has evolved.
While these livestock shows are a significant stressor for TVMDL, they are only one facet of what they do, which can include everything from toxicology and bacteriology to virology and monitoring the health of wildlife species. They are the only veterinary and diagnostic laboratory in the state of Texas, and their work is invaluable.
TVMDL is an important partner for every veterinarian in Texas. The largest part of all of the samples that I have ever sent off for any diagnostics have come to TVMDL. They're a premier laboratory that's known all over the country, and they are crucial to our residue avoidance program.
I really like this here in terms of just stoutness of feature, really aggressive in terms of its top shape and the muscularity that it agrees with.
That trophy means a lot to me. I've been looking at it since 3rd grade, but mainly I show because of the hard work and responsibilities, and I plan to use all my showing funds to go to my college savings. I plan to go to Texas A&M, so I'd like to use my funds there.
The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is the largest supplier of scholarships to Texas A&M University and to our system schools. And we want those all to be a level playing field. But this is not just a project that's coming to Houston to show. It's actually a food product, it's an agricultural product, and it's really important that we maintain the largest food supplier in the world, which is the United States.
Comfortable with what we have out here. It came together really well, I guess.
Some situations involve livestock shows where the awards are very significant. It's not just the youth that place and win these awards, it's also the person that bred this animal. Livelihoods are at stake here. This is their career. This is what they do for a living. So there's a lot of other ramifications that go along with that.
And your grand champion scramble steer, weight 2, Andrew Keenan Kutzenberger.
TVMDL provides this resource to us in the junior livestock show industry, but also the livestock industry as a whole, as well as the veterinarians and animals across the nation ultimately. And so even though we may not interact with them on a day-to-day basis, we may not know a lot about what they do, it's a very important resource for us to teach these youth at a young age the ethical way to raise these livestock.
TVMDL is brought up as one of the most highly renowned state veterinary laboratories in the world. And that's pretty nice to have it right here in Aggieland.